You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Facebook, we are ybmchat podcast. Instagram at ybmchat. You can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts at ybmchat. Hey, it's Dashia D.
Hey, it's Cassondra.
Hey, it's your boy Tre'Dub, and I'm back.
And it's your girl, LadiiNova.
And we are
ybmchat.
young Black millennials offering you a fresh new take you didn't know you needed.
Boy.
So, yeah. So today we are going to we'll start talking about Megan Thee Stallion. First, let me say that her album or mixtape or EP or whatever it's called that just came out recently is the bomb. I swear I like maybe like 4 of the 6 songs I think that's on there. I'm not sure how many I forgot. But anyway, I like 4 of them. But anyway, it's so good. But what I'm going to talk about is her whole situation with her record label. If y'all don't know, she is suing them, I guess, for breach of contract or whatever the lawyer term or law term is or whatever. And the reason why she felt like she was kind of like misled with her contract or whatever. And what I wanted to kind of bring up was that Joe Budden, if y'all don't know, he used to be a rapper or is a rapper or whatever the case is, but now has his own podcast. He kind of like shed some light or kind of gave some, I would say, some valid information regarding Megan Thee Stallion's accusation or her situation. He briefly kind of talked about, well, not even briefly, it wasn't even brief at all actually, but he talked about how like a lot of like young up and coming artists who are just so excited about the fame and the fortune that they don't read their contract to kind of understand what is it that they're getting or what is expected of them. And that's kind of like what kind of happened to Megan. And he also kind of like said something talking about how when people who do these contracts that they have to pay attention to all the legalities that go behind it. Like you're expected to have a certain amount of album, you're expected to have a certain amount of, well, pay for a certain amount of things, stuff like that. Again, kind of like worked with Megan Thee Stallion's case. But and all in all, she was able to release her album or mixtape, whatever it's categorized as or labeled as, and it's a bop. So what? But yeah.
So shout out to Megan. She doing her thing.
I think it was more than that because some of the things that I was seeing from her was she wanted to talk about like renegotiating her contract and I believe it was like, was it 1501 or whatever that was the label?
Yeah,
they just kind of like automatically shut it down, didn't want to talk about it. And she was just like, you know, if there was some type of conversation had or an explanation behind my contract further, then it could have been chill. But they came at her sideways about nothing, making it seem like, you know, well, we paying for this, that, and the third, and you being unappreciative, and they was pretty much out here saying like, we made you who you are, and you acting like this. That was some of the other stuff that I was seeing through like other gossip sites and during her live. So I think it's all crazy. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not a fan of Joe Budden. I don't take nothing that he say, regardless of him being in the music industry, for the simple fact that you're pointing out that she's young. Everybody's young. Everybody, you get that taste of fame or you get recognized and you've been pushing for that. Yeah, she gunned for it fast. That's true. But still, shit happens. Like, you can't just make it seem like because you young, oh, she should have read it. This ain't even like me trying to give myself props. I had 2 contracts before for a book deal. I didn't sign them things because I read it and I did not understand. And some of the things I did understand, it was still confusing. It gets to be too much. But she admitted, like, I was 20 years old. I was just hungry. I was ready to go for it. And then now it's like a big thing. So she was, like you said, she released it, so it's cool. I like Wolf Song, Crying in the Car. I like that song. I get with it.
Yeah, my favorite was Captain Hook.
I didn't. It was like, that's the first song I like, cause
The first one, and then after that was Savage.
Savage is another good.
Mm-hmm,
Like,
yes.
I don't even really want to hear it, but
I mean, to be honest, I feel like that song kind of describes all three of y'all. Well, mostly Megan and Cassondra. Did you hear the song? It's actually a compliment. So.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't.
So that means it's an insult to me because it's mainly Megan and Cassondra. That's fine. Moving along.
Listen to the song, you'll understand why.
I'll pass.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, next.
Oh, in other news, Summer Walker posted, or she shared a video that was 2 years old that pretty much blamed Chinese people for spreading coronavirus. And she put a caption saying that this is trifling and this is nasty, yada, yada. And when people called her out for it, telling her, okay, this is not okay, you need to take it down, this is racist, she doubled down on it. And so eventually it got to the point where she decided to just delete. Well, she deleted all of her Instagram posts and kind of just went ghost on Instagram after people called her out and called her racist for posting the video.
Mm-mm. And I mean, it's crazy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, oh, sorry, but I was gonna say, as far as Summer Walker goes, she's already kind of like super sensitive, right? So it's like, well, in a way, because I mean, she definitely opened up about her having like real bad anxiety, so, like, and like having all of that like backlash, happen all at once. It's kind of like can most likely take a toll on her. But I mean, the whole social media thing. I mean, I don't see person big deal have to like delete it. I guess just to not get all the backlash, but I guess that. But anywho, next.
I'm about to say, like, it's. I just say it's because she's a celebrity. Because if any one of us made a comment, there's been people that probably been on our timeline that's been saying some. I'm not even gonna say probably. It has been a bunch of ignorant people saying ignorant stuff. Timeline. Oh, coronavirus. I ain't drinking no more Coronas. Like, do you know where Coronas come from? So what are you talking about? That's a Mexican beverage. Or I don't want to sound like wrong, but it's like Mexico. This started in China, so that's one. Two, you subjected to anything every day. Like, I work out here, and these people, I hate to say it, I'm not trying to be racist, but it's a clear observation of what I see every day. These white people come straight out the stall and just walk straight on out. And I'm like, it's 7 sinks right here as soon as you walk out. How hard is it just to go up in there and just scrub up your hands and go? And this was like, oh, it's nothing, it's fine, I have German. No, you was in the bathroom with the sink.
I've heard so many people say that. Or they make a point to say, oh, I have hand sanitizer. So they put it on at the sink as they walk out. And I'm like, well, you're already here. You don't have to announce that you have hand sanitizer. Wash your hands and go.
I mean, going to your point about her being a celebrity, I kind of disagree. I feel like people, it depends on the person. There are some people who are on my timeline who will check anybody. It doesn't matter if they're a celebrity or not. But the fact that she is in the public eye, obviously she's going to receive a lot more backlash than your average Joe. I mean, because she is in that position, it's not fair that she has to kind of pay more attention and be more cautious about what she decides to post. But at the end of the day, she is in that position and she kind of has to, or she's going to receive what she did. And that's up to her whether she chooses to recognize, okay, I made a mistake, let me apologize and move on, or double down on it and just be like, F y'all, and delete everything.
And I'm glad you said that because
you took 2 deep sighs. Okay.
Me? Or no, lady?
I just don't think it's fair. Like, for us as civilians to look at celebrities like that and be like you pretty much tell them like they don't have the right to the freedom of speech. Granted, it could be something stupid that they said, they could be right, they could be wrong. I don't know why you're like, I do and I don't know why you're putting them to another standard. to me, it's like, okay, you just make more money than me because of your gift and your talents.
Mm-hmm.
You're still a human being. Like, my day is not going to stop because of what you said.
I hear you. I agree. I don't think it's necessarily holding them to a different standard. I'm just saying they have a lot more eyes on them than you or I would on our social media. We might have 5 people come and check us on our Instagram where she's going to have thousands. It's a difference. So it's not holding her to another standard. She just there are more people accessing her social media. So a lot more mouths, a lot more opinions, a lot more keyboard thugs. So
yeah,
Or
how it is.
Yeah. And I kind of agree. Well, I do agree with Daisha on that one, specifically because she is a celebrity. So I just feel like that's something that's kind of expected, being that you're in the public eye. That's why I said previously that I don't really see what the big deal was for like deleting off your social media, because you're going to go through that for numerous of years that you're going to be famous. So it's like you're going to keep on deleting your social media every time people don't agree with anything you say, you know?
yes, because I like these hoes.
And I feel like that's something she would say. But yeah,
So today we're talking about social media etiquette, and so every week we come up with questions about like what we're going to talk about. But today I came up with my questions, but I wanted to ask you guys another question in addition to the ones I have. So, do you think there's a separation, or there can be a separation in between like private life and public life once you're a celebrity? You know what I mean? So there was the situation a few years ago where this pastor was caught at a party drinking and being crazy or whatever. And they were like, she's a pastor. At the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter. But she's saying, okay, what I do in my private life is my private life. You know what I mean? Like, do you think there's a separation, or once you're known, you're known? LadiiNova.
First of all, that was a terrible example because she's supposed to be leading us to Christ in a sense.
Okay,
Still
well, excuse me, maybe not a pastor, but like a celebrity.
the church realm is still bad. But once you're known, then you don't have a life of your own unless you know how to go about it by like how Kyla Pratt has for years. We didn't know anything she was doing until she was ready for us to know it.
Yeah.
Same with Will and Jada. They hadn't been on social media, and then when they did, that's when they invited you in to know what they were doing. It's just about how you do things. But yeah, once you're a celebrity, you don't have a life of your own. You're gonna be judged for whatever you do. You're like people with Ari Lennox, and it's like, oh, she don't be hanging with nobody. She's sleeping on her air mattress. I thought she was a singer. I thought she was out here doing tours. That's none of your business. So what she's deciding to do is what she wants to do. I don't know what people expect once you're a celebrity, but they want you to do a whole lot.
I mean, I feel like Megan kind of answered LadiiNova, answered the celebrity portion of that, but you use the example of a preacher. I do think that there are certain professions where unfortunately you are held to a different standard, whether you're a preacher, teacher, social worker, counselor, whatever. There's just certain professions that you go into where you do have to be careful about what you put out on a public forum, because people don't expect you to be doing certain things. It might leave a bad taste in their mouth, or they might no longer want to receive your services, or whatever the case may be.
yeah. And I agree, but I definitely want to shed information on both subjects, whether celebrity and like what Daisha was talking about, like people who are in a certain profession. So reality TV stars is the main people that definitely, like how Megan said, you have no private life at this point. It's like you kind of like put yourself out there to be in the public eye with your private life, you know? So it's kind of like at this point, you have no choice but to like kind of basically put everything out there. I mean, that's something you sign up for, you get paid for, you have contracts to basically like have people in your business, you know? So in that sense, I do think that, like I said, I agree with Megan on that. Now, as far as like people who are held to a certain standard, as far as like the relations with like chiropractors and doctors, I have a friend who does psychiatry, and he definitely like, you know, we do interactions, he'll be like, Trey, like I have to watch like certain things that I do in public because I have clients who are watching me, you know. So I do understand in that sense. That's why I'm glad Desha brought that up. So yeah, I do think depending on like if you're a celebrity or if you're in a certain profession, it can go both ways. So yeah.
Okay, and I have a follow-up question to that question. Do you think, or are you now friends with your boss on Facebook or social media? Yes or no? And why could you or why could you not? LadiiNova, let's hear it.
I am definitely not. I have coworkers on my page, but I can't say that. One person does have a manager status, but she's not. I don't think she's my manager. She's just a manager. My manager, I wouldn't have up there because she's nosy. Like all she heard was like, I went out to the bar with them once, and it was like, oh, y'all trying to corrupt her, and I'm like, corrupt who? Like, you don't know me. You don't know what I do outside of this place. This place stresses me out. I needed a drink, and that's what I got, a drink. But I'm not adding you to my Facebook, so no.
So, okay, even though you're not a celebrity, how do you think that's different? You know, like you can have a personal and public life. You know what I mean? Do you think it's because that's your boss and it'd be weird, or because it's your personal life?
Both. It's my personal life, and I don't need my boss talk, like, especially on my days off. I don't need you, me coming to work and it's like, oh yeah, I saw you went out yesterday with some friends. You like you had a good time. And it's like, yeah, I did, but why are we talking about that? Because who I went out with is not people that work here. Oh, I didn't know you could dance or you did stuff like that. I know. That's the point. It's none of your business.
Dashia?
I think it depends on the culture of that organization, because my last job, I was friends with coworkers and I was friends with my supervisor. And I didn't feel weird about it. It was fine. I didn't feel like they were trying to be in my business or anything like that. Fast forward to the job I have now, no thank you. I don't want to be friends with my supervisors. I don't want to be friends with my coworkers on social media because it's just not the same. Like that job, I felt like it was more like a family, and this one it just isn't. And also, I just don't feel comfortable with it. Definitely not my supervisor. Coworkers, maybe. Supervisor, no.
So do you think they would be your friend only to be nosy, or because you just don't want them knowing what you have going on?
I just want to set professional boundaries. That's it. This is my first full-time job out of school. So if I choose to share things about my personal life, cool. But right now I'm choosing not to. Plus, I don't know how long I will be there. So, yeah.
Kind of coffee.
Snip. Man, H no, S no, just no. I do not want my boss in my social media at all. Like seriously. And the main reason why is because like I definitely want to set those boundaries. You know, like when I'm at work, this is me being professional. On social media, I am fun. I am Tre'Dub. I am like out traveling. I'm out posting funny stuff, or like just enjoying life. Like y'all follow me, y'all see what I post, but I would never want my boss to see that. Like, but it's not like.
Hey.
It's not like I post anything bad. I'm just saying like I just don't want. When I'm at work, like Desha said, I don't share my personal life at all. Like when I'm at work, it's just work. And I have some coworkers who really want to get to know me, like, and I'm like, why?
Like, no, I'm not friends.
That's always the weird thing. You should add me on Facebook.
Okay.
Should I?
So yeah, like I have coworkers now at my job now, and they're like, Trey, you just seem like a lot of fun or whatever. And of course, like they pop up under people I may know or people you may know or whatever, and then they see like a picture of me outside of work clothes, and you realize, oh, I actually look like somebody. So, so they'd be like, And actually, this is a funny story. When I came to work, and the same situation happened where they saw me under people you may know, and it was like, Trey, you look so gorgeous. I'm like, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay. So yeah. So when are you gonna accept my Facebook request? I was like, anywho. So today, what we doing?
I also think that kind of goes back to what I said earlier about the whole depending on the profession, because I think okay, I work in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's predominantly white. The majority of the people that I work with are white. The majority of the clients that I work with are white. And sometimes I post things that are very pro-Black, and I wear shirts that say things like Black Kids Matter. Now that
we out.
Yeah, now that shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be, but I wouldn't want someone to see it and be offended by it and then take it back to my supervisor or whoever. And we have to have this sit down conversation about what I choose to do in my personal life or what I choose to advocate for in my personal life.
I just think that's crazy. Set aside from like what you said with the things you would post or your clothes and things like that. I just think people should grow up and be an adult. Like, there's a lot of professions out here that's stressful. Like, you're a social worker. You have people who do law, doctor work. Especially if you're a doctor and you've been trying to save somebody's life and you put in your heart into it, trying to figure out what the situation is, and you lose that patient. I'm not, like, me as an adult, I'm not really gonna get mad at you if you choose to sit down and like have a drink. Now, if you know how to monitor yourself, that's cool. But I'm not gonna, that's like me going out and seeing my doctor and it's like she's having a drink. I'm like, okay, like I know what you go through. You're not seeing me today and you off.
Yeah.
You about to be off like the next couple days. Honey, be stress free. Like, everybody's just not gonna rotate and be zen and do a puzzle book. No, some people
they need to drink.
Want to take a shot. Like, leave people be. You can't look and be like, well, you're my lawyer, you're supposed to be doing this. Like, honey, at a certain time, I stop. Certain time, I need a break. You go to work, you go and have a drink. Why I can't do the same thing? I just think it's stupid.
Yeah.
So that's funny. All y'all think like that because I disagree with all y'all. So I think it depends on the social media. So, okay, me and my boss are friends on Facebook, and I don't post random stuff on Facebook. And when she first added me, I was scared because I'm like, okay, well, I don't post, like I said, bad stuff, but I don't want her to look at my post and think any kind of way of me. But then I was like, this is my Facebook. Like, you chose to be my friend. But then I'm also like, I'm a teacher. I can't do and say all this stuff. But like, she'll post like pictures of video of her out like drinking and stuff. And at first it was really weird to me because I'm like, this is my boss. But at the end of the day, I'm like, well, she's still human, you know? And I am too. So I'll post like funny memes or whatever. Of course, I try not to make it like offensive or, you know what I mean? Because at my job, it is predominantly white. Like, we have 250 students and 98% of them are white. You know, so that's our students, that's our clients. I'm friends with some of my work parents too. Like, I babysit their kids and we're friends on Facebook, you know? So it's like, again, that was kind of awkward at first because it's like, all right, well, I babysit your child. I teach your child every day, and here you see me on Facebook with Margarita. How would that look? But then, like Megan said, or like Lady said, sorry, it's a difference. You know, like, I'm not at work. I'm not on the clock. I'm not doing nothing that you know, like, it would get in trouble for. I'm not doing anything illegal. You know, so that's just kind of the separation. Now, Snapchat is a whole nother story. Whatever. Me and my mom aren't even friends on Snapchat, so.
Your mama got a Snapchat?
I don't know. I'm scared to ask her. I don't need her to be like, yeah, what's your name? It's okay.
Ask her. Let's ask her. Cassondra, Mom, you have a Snapchat?
Edit this part out.
I was about to say I don't see a difference, but then I thought about some of the stuff I put on my Snap versus my Facebook. It can be bad, but then again, not really. I mean, even now my Facebook, I post funny things like you say, Cassondra, funny memes, funny videos. I do that, but my own mama's not on my page.
Yeah.
I crushed that like real quick. I said, "Ain't you tell me as a child you ain't none of my little friends?" So
I ain't your little friend. Don't add me.
like, no, cancel. Well, my
Mm.
Snap, I have posted like some questionable photos. Not of me, just things that I saw, and I was like, "Oh, this is."
You sure?
Can't relate.
And
Go ahead.
nobody see my body posted on Snap, so I seen them. So
Let's
mighty,
not go to the
you might
screenshots or
have
the archives and I'm just playing y'all. I just playing y'all. She is nice and wholesome and read her Bible all day.
Oh no.
Not get strike by lightning next to you. Okay, so what is an appropriate age you think that a child should have social media, or should be allowed to have social media?
Oh, that's a good question.
Let's start off by asking this. What age did you guys have social media, sneakingly and openly?
Well, I was definitely open with it.
Right.
Really?
I was definitely. Wait, now when you say social media, are we going back all the way to MySpace? And
That's social media.
Social media, because I sure did sneak and have a whole MySpace page when I was in 8th grade. So
You had to sneak to have MySpace?
Damn, Dashia, my mama ain't like that.
Well, I didn't have to. I had MySpace and my mama knew it, but also I don't think she was worried that I would do anything inappropriate with it.
Oh, okay.
So I've had social media since, when was MySpace out? Middle school? So probably since I was like 12, maybe.
Yeah.
Dang. No, because every time I think about MySpace, the same age, I was 12, and I had a MySpace as well.
Right.
My thing was so ghetto, like it had the music playing with the money falling.
Boy, yes.
You had
Nothing
money
was more
falling?
stressful than y'all remember the top 5 friends? You had to rank them in order. Man, that was
I don't even
horrible.
remember who mine were, to be honest.
Got deleted everything.
Why in it? Why am I number 4? Why is she number 1? Man, that was stressful.
My mom and daddy didn't know nothing about MySpace. I had it, but I didn't really use it like that. Now, when I got to Facebook, it was my brother who didn't want me to have Facebook. And I didn't even know why. Of course, I wasn't gonna listen to him. I didn't like him at the time. I do what I want. I made a Facebook. It wasn't a big thing. Facebook reminds me of why I shouldn't have had it, because the memories and those statuses that I was writing, it was ugly. I don't know what type of words I was typing up.
Even the spelling of it, man.
That's my best friend, and I'm like, why am I writing like this? This is ugly. DHAT, putting extra Y's and I's and X's and stuff.
Just,
good God, I was so immature.
So y'all remember back when we was in high school and people used to have Facebook and they used to have some type of crazy middle name in between their names.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We were still got that.
Reppin to make and win or whatever.
I ain't gonna call nobody out. Just know we all know people like that.
Ain't even just your name. What's the whole thing? Miss, minding my business for life, but I got your man. I'm like, what is that?
Man,
what
come
does
on.
that even mean?
I think I did that on MySpace, but I didn't do that on Facebook.
Dashia, right. I did that on MySpace. So my name was, Trey had know my MySpace name, but it was Taisha Stella Brown.
I would never.
Who is Taisha?
Man,
I don't know.
You just had a fake name?
A whole fake name.
Oh, because you couldn't have one. Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't want to put Cassondra Williams like a dummy, and then my mama go search me, and there I am,
We've come a long way.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Okay, y'all, I got another question. How much is too much for social media?
Can I go first? Please, can I go first?
So you'd be like, oh, no, ma'am, no, sir. Take that down, delete your whole page. Let's hear it.
We don't want to know when you woke up. We don't want to know when you about to use the bathroom. We don't want to know when you about to eat. We don't want to know when you about to clock in your job, go on break, put on your shoes, feed your cat, watch your dog run away, and watch your cat run off. I think that right there is when it's a little too much. Seriously. Like, and clearly, like, if you're like sharing like really, really personal stuff about your family that the world should not know, that's an obvious given.
Oh yeah.
Now your whole family like having a
Like,
whole battle.
hold up. Can I go next?
But
Go ahead, lady.
Okay, so it's funny because my siblings don't even know when we're recording, and my brother just sent me this random thing on Snapchat, and it was somebody's profile. This was a picture of a stud with no shirt on, like nothing. So just test out. And I'm like, why is this flag? Honey, you're still a girl. What are you stop doing? Like, just stop sharing things. I know people like, oh, well, you let all these other females be half naked and men. I'm like, the ones that I see are modeling photos. They done, so those are different. Out of my friends, I don't want to see y'all asses on countertops, and I don't care about y'all wearing gray sweatpants. I don't need to know y'all like it. Like, it's unnecessary. I don't want to see no stupid statuses like, and the reason why she left me because my shit hit the floor. Congratulations, but she's still gone. So
No, sir.
I don't know why that's the thing.
No, sir.
As far as Tre'Dub saying, like, all this oversharing, like, see me on my timeline. And these are people that I never even considered a friend. They just added me because I guess they thought I was nice or because of my siblings. And I told people to stop doing it because I'm not like them. I don't like everybody. And they get up there and it's like, oh, well, she's doing this and she's doing that and she's trying to make me look stupid and I'm not going to be looking stupid. And then like an hour later, this is the best person to ever like enter my life. This is my world. And I'm like, bitch, didn't you just half an hour ago? Now y'all going on a lunch date? I'm confused. Y'all don't need to mind my business because what we got going on, what is it? What's that usual one? I don't even remember. It's like some stupid saying, what goes on over here doesn't have to be understood, or some stupid shit they be saying.
What's understood doesn't need to be explained.
Yeah, that.
I'm like, well, honey, you out there, so maybe you should explain since you making me read it. Long ass paragraphs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, you making yourself look.
I agree with Trey and Lady that Facebook is not your journal, and that you should be careful about posting things that are a little too personal. But to add on to that, I don't agree with people who post pictures of the deceased, like in their casket. I find that very disturbing.
Yes,
that makes my skin crawl.
I find it disturbing and honestly disrespectful. Because I feel like you should be in the moment with your family or your friend, whoever it is that you are grieving. So that I don't like. I don't necessarily agree with people who post when they do a good deed with the person in it. So let's say somebody is experiencing homelessness, right? It is a great thing that you want to help that person. Why do you need to take an entire video of this person who has probably hit rock bottom or are at a low point? You're posting their video. You're like, see y'all, I'm a good person. I'm handing them racks and racks of money. Like, would you want to be posted on social media for the world to see you at that point? I don't like that. And then also, I do not necessarily agree with parents posting the way they discipline their kids. So like when they post their kids and the kid is screaming and crying because they've cut the George Jefferson type haircut on them or they're these little creative punishments that they're doing, like that kid did not ask to be on social media for you to show the world that you got your child in check. So
yeah, that's a little too much for real. Yeah, I've seen countless of videos.
Embarrassing. But Deja actually said the one thing that I hated, and that's when people do stuff for show, like a good deed, and they post everything on Facebook. So when I was in college, I had a very lengthy debate with a couple of my choir members or whatever about that situation, because I was saying, if I do a good deed for somebody, the world will never know. That's between me, that person, and God. That's it. Unless they take it upon themselves to go tell, oh, look, she did this for me or whatever, I will never open my mouth. And I told them, I said, I do good stuff for people all the time. You will never know. And so what they were arguing, saying, okay, if you put it on social media, it'll get people to say, oh, she's doing this, maybe I'll do this too. And they were like, okay, well, it'll move their hearts. And I said, I don't think me having to post exactly what I did and have that person in it should move somebody else's heart. You know what I mean? Like, if they can't, their hearts can't be moved in their own, then
Yeah, you should be
nothing to do with me.
motivated.
Yeah.
You should be motivated to do it on your own regardless.
Right. And if you want to share the story, but you don't need to attach a video or a picture with it.
Exactly, like how you do it. It was that one guy that did it in Charleston a few years back. He went to the Carter station and he was like giving out burgers and stuff. And he had the video like selfie mode. Oh, look, he can take this. And of course, the homeless guy was like, thank you, I'll take it. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay. And then his excuse was, well, I asked him if I can put him on social media. Okay, who's going to say no? Because I feel like if I tell you no, then you're not going to help me out. You know what I mean?
Hello.
So, yeah, I'll say any and everything just, you know, for you to help me out, you know, so that was my...
Yeah, like you said, if it'll be one thing if, like, say I don't know y'all and I see y'all doing a good deed for somebody and I just ask, hey, is it okay if, you know, I share, like, this is me on the outside, like an outside person, just being like, you know, I witnessed something that I haven't seen in a long time and I just wanted to share the video and the person said it was okay. It's not me doing it. And even if it was me doing it and somebody sees me, it's like, hey, I just want to, you know, take the video, cool. Like you said, Cassondra, I've done stuff for people. I don't say anything about it. I don't even care if it, like, you have people that's out here blasting people that's supposed to be their friends. Oh, I helped her with this and she go act like I never did nothing for her, and let's not forget you was the one who had roaches on your floor. I'm like, but you was her friend, was your ass over there. Why didn't you offer to, like, help her get some stuff cleaned up or just have a conversation with her? Why are you putting this on social media and then y'all friends again? It's confusing.
It is.
I agree they should with the whole funeral thing. I hate it. This person is gone. Even with, like, I don't ask people for sympathy, so, like, y'all knew I had that stuff going on with my dad. Didn't nobody else know it. Didn't put it on social media. Didn't say, oh, my heart is hurt right now. My dad is going through such and such. No, I post like nothing ever happens. Arguments with family, arguments with my relationship. I'm posting like I am fine because what I'm going through is none of your business because you're not going to hold that. And people
people do that, or like, I like how I feel like you should either do it or you shouldn't, you know? Like, I feel like you said, okay, I don't do it, that's fine. Y'all ever see people who post their hospital bracelet but then won't say what happened? Oh, in the hospital, what happened? What's going on?
Post a picture with one tear falling.
Inbox me. No, we all see this. No, we all see this hospital bracelet. Now you obligated to tell us all what's going on. Ain't nobody inboxing me.
Just like what they said about the people, about just what they said about the people crying out and be like, I'm gonna cry my last tear or cry through the pain. I'm like,
what pain?
You ain't that hurry. You can focus this camera.
But I do. But I do want to clarify, because I said Facebook is not your journal. Don't post your personal business. I think that there are some times when people post personal stories that could be enlightening to others, especially when it deals with like mental health. So I'm not going to name anyone, protecting the innocent, but a few weeks ago, I did see somebody that we went to school with who posted her journey with like anxiety and depression. And then she got a flood of support, but then comments from other people saying, wow, I felt alone in feeling this way. So I think in certain cases like that, it can be helpful so that people feel like they have someone that they can relate to and talk to possibly. But I was talking more about like relationship drama when they're cussing somebody out and then the following week they're getting married. That's what I mean. Yeah.
And I just be on my Facebook like, what can you just make?
And I got one more question for you guys. What is the craziest thing that y'all have ever posted on social media that you probably regret? Whether it's like relationship stuff or probably a night when you were drunk, probably a hangover after, like.
What if we didn't post it, or like someone posted a video of us, like,
on their social media? Let's hear it.
Right. Well, that's happened to me before. Like, obviously, I was in college and I was like increasingly intoxicated, and it was my 19th birthday. Yep, that's what it was. And I didn't even make it to 12 o'clock because it was the 14th. My birthday was on the 15th. I didn't even make it to 12 o'clock. I was
Lord.
done by 10:30. And of course, mixing everything under the sun. And the next morning, when I finally woke up, anywho,
You were 19?
Come on, Mama D.
So,
I think I remember. Was that the one dancing on the table?
I believe so. Yeah.
I wasn't there for that one, but I heard about it.
You right, exactly. So yeah, of course, I was on social media that next day. Of course, tell me happy birthday, and that obviously I had a good night. But yeah, so that's all I'm gonna say about that night.
LadiiNova.
Won't catch me out here doing no stupid crap. Have I posted anything? Tre'Dub, I don't like how you looking at me and judging me. I have personally sent you things and whoever I'm dealing with, or if I'm because I don't go out. So if I'm going to get stupid drunk, I'm going to be by myself. And I'm just going to snap who I want to snap. I still have enough conscience to do that. But to accidentally post on social media or put my business out there, no. The most I do is probably share a meme, and my inner circle would know exactly who I'm talking about. I'd like to be petty. I'm not posting personal stuff up there. And don't nobody, to my knowledge, don't nobody have no video of me acting crazy because I don't leave my house. I know Dashia D because she's simple.
I don't really post on social media first. Second, the only things that I really post are positive things. So if I'm traveling, if I've accomplished something, if I'm with friends, if I'm with family, that's the only thing I post. I don't really post relationships. So no one would know if I'm single, if I'm taken. No one would know that because I don't post. I like to take my L's in private. So
yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I have posted people I've dated before on social media, but no one would know because what I post, it could just be my friend and you wouldn't know it based on what I said. I don't put a bunch of emojis or kissy faces or nothing. So
that's the love of my life.
No.
I mean,
all mine.
Right.
I found this stuff I posted I was in a relationship and I wasn't. I did that just to see who was going to run and talk to my family.
Yeah.
Because that was the time when I first moved up here. So I was like, you know what? I'm single as all get out. I can do what I want. And I posted that, and then I used to go out. That's when Tre'Dub forced me to go out because I wasn't trying to do anything. And it was all of my mama, she out to the club. She wore this. And I was like, yeah. She sent me the picture before she went out. I'm like, look at you, all up in my damn business. Well, who are you drinking now? Nobody.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just posting stuff because I'm bored. I'm single. Now, what am I now? I'm not. Does Facebook know that? No, they don't.
Oh, but now our ybmchat listeners do. So thank you.
Well, they've already known that at this point.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, she's made that known.
I've been the Tamara of this whole thing. Because, I'm married.
Oh, Lord.
Don't come for Tamara.
Brandon, you're jealous?
Moving on.
Oh, Lord.
Happily single. But,
and then, so you guys know I'm usually a pretty positive person, super happy-go-lucky. I post funny stuff or whatever. And it was one time a few years ago, and I don't address negative stuff at all. At least I try not to. But it was this one time. I'm not gonna say the situation because it's too specific, but somebody pissed me off, and I went on a whole rant on Snapchat about it. And then I was like, you know what? I don't need to do this, And so that's something I regret. I deleted it as soon as I posted, but it was okay, we're supposed to be friends. I can give you whatever, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And it just wasn't Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was thinking. Go ahead.
I mean, I guess I can tell you guys, but anyway, I lent this person some money, and when I asked for it back, it was just like, oh, I don't remember, or are you sure? And it was like a big, like, okay, I know when somebody give me money, you know what I mean? Like, I won't forget. Like, that's not something I can just say, oh, I don't know. I'm serious. So, but this person would say, oh, I don't remember. So then, like, of course, I put it on Snapchat, and I'm like, what kind of friend? And I just went completely off. But then I was like, this is not who I am. Yeah, because I deleted it as soon as I posted, because I literally was like, I felt bad, and I was like, this isn't who I am. Like, I'm not going to let this person get me out of character. I'm pissed off, but we could just be pissed in private.
Now that's growth.
See, thank you.
You're welcome.
It really is.
That's adultery. I'm kidding.
I was about to say, I think the only thing that I posted that would have been questionable, it was shortly after that movie Get Out came out.
Uh-oh.
If you haven't seen this, the Jordan Peele movie, yeah. If you don't know what that is, I don't know what to tell you. But I was getting brunch with my roommate, who happens to be white, and we were in Knoxville. Like I said previously, it's predominantly white. And the place that we were in, I was the only Black person. She had a coffee mug, and she was stirring the coffee. And in the movie, they're stirring the coffee, and then he goes into that. Right. So when she was stirring it, I took a video of and said, "Get out." Like, I put the caption "Get out" and put it on Snapchat. Now, when I posted it, I'm thinking, oh, it's funny, haha. But then it was like, someone might see this and be offended. And then my mama saw it, and she was like, I don't know, that's not really tasteful. So then I took it down. I think that's the only thing, though, that I posted where I kind of was like, let me delete this. It might not.
I would have took that as a joke. Not gonna lie.
Because I sure laugh wholeheartedly at that just now. Because as soon as I saw it, that was my first thing. I was like, don't have no teacups around me.
Yeah.
Listen.
No, like nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. Clink. I'm going home and taking all of my mama's stuff out the house. I don't care how she feels. You're not about to have me. But I didn't post nothing just because, like I said, I had family at one point. I hate for my aunt to be under my page and like, take your prayers to God. I'm like, I know that. Just
let me have my moment.
Let me be mad. I hated that. She did it to my cousin. She didn't put up a whole bunch of what was going on. It was just like
snippet.
Status, kind of like being upset about something. And I just saw comments, and I was like, how much you want to bet that my aunt comment under this? And here she is. Hey, all you got to do, we have Bible study tonight. Come and lay all your prayers on the altar and cash all your cares. I'm like, girl, we know that. It's cool. It's okay for us to like be upset. It's a feeling we can have. I don't need you on my page trying to say, call me. I ain't never talked to you. Why would I call you?
Call me
about my situation? Inbox me. No, I won't. It's not happening. Just leave me alone.
Okay. All right. Well, I legit enjoyed this conversation. Thank y'all so much for everything. Like, this was a lot of fun, y'all. So listeners, let me know what y'all think, because I need to know how y'all feel about social media etiquette. What's too much? Do you post too much? So join us every Monday.
Like,
comment,
subscribe,
and guess us up.
You take everybody line.
Listen. All right. Peace out.
See ya.